What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rimworld. You know the drill, man. Share, like, and subscribe. Smash that like button. Man. Let's see here. Are there any things that I want to mention before we get started here? I think for the most part, I've got my USB situation figured out. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the Muano microphone brand. But see, with me, I have my webcam, and I think it's the Anchor PowerConf webcam. I don't know if that's really how you pronounce it or not, but I've got a webcam and I've got a microphone, and at one point they were both sharing some sort of, I guess, USB, some sort of USB area, I guess, in the OS, and they were fighting over each other on stuff, and I had to basically change the connection, the USB connection of my microphone to a different USB port, and then disable the microphone in my PowerConf webcam. Long story short, I think that fixed it. And man, oh man, did I have to go through hell and back trying to diagnose that shit. I literally had to use like Chat GPT to help me figure that crap out, man. Because I'm a software guy. I'm not really an OS or hardware guy. So it was nice to have an assist with some of that shit. But it's really fantastic though to try to figure that kind of crap out, and you get to a point to where you're like, oh my god, this thing's happening, blah blah blah, I'm never gonna get this shit figured out. And then you reach out to Chat GPT and you give it the context, you explain all your situations and stuff, and through a couple efforts you finally realize what it is that's going on. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Chat GPT did everything for me, because it didn't. And I've used Chat GPT long enough, or AI long enough, to understand that, man, there are some times when AI just trips over itself. But in most situations, whenever that happens, it's almost always because of the input you provide it with. Now, it's not easy working with AI. And I am not one of those people that believes that AI is just going to come out and just decimate the economy. I don't buy that at all. I've worked with it enough to know that we're a long way from something like that. But I do believe that AI has a really good way of helping us, and this is a perfect example, man. I feel like this whole USB thing that I was going through this past week or 2 weeks actually, AI really helps out with trying to kind of, I guess maybe ground you in terms of your analysis of situations and contexts. And if it wasn't for ChatGPT, man, I wouldn't have figured out certain things about the situation that helped me realize what was going on. And it always goes without saying that sometimes whenever you get to a certain kind of conclusion with these kinds of situations, you can still realize later on that what you did wasn't a fix, and you might have to return to it at some point. But I think for the most part, it's basically fixed now. And it's just, I don't know, man. It's relieving, when you're going through a situation where, I mean, like with this workstation that I've got, man, it cost me about $7,000. I think, if I remember right, it was around $7,000 to build. And so whenever I have some sort of stupid little USB thing going on, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, oh my god, what's going on? And I'll hear that stupid USB disconnect thing in my speakers, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, man, my motherboard's going out or some shit like that. And I don't think that's what's going on at all now. And I think it really was just, back in the 90s, whenever you would install a new computer game or something, you would usually have to configure these things called IRQs. And if you didn't do it right, your fucking sound wouldn't work correctly, or you wouldn't have certain kinds of graphics display the way that you would expect. And I kind of think that that's similar to what I went through with this USB thing between my webcam and my microphone. There was like some sort of like IRQ type of conflict that was going on at the USB OS level, and changing one of the devices from one USB port to a different one somehow alleviated a lot of that shit. And you know, like I said earlier, disabling the microphone in my webcam, because my webcam's got an embedded mic in it. So anyway, that's been a big thing lately, and I'm also feeling, I at least was dealing with a Bluetooth situation with a stereo system that I have in my living room that I stream music to from my workstation, because I guess what was going on is that the USB pairing would sometimes, I don't know, get disrupted somehow. And I don't know still what was exactly going on, but I know that one of the solutions to it was to basically literally disconnect the freaking stereo system from the power receptacle and let it sit there for about a half an hour, because I guess somehow that alleviated or cleared the internal cache of this fucking thing. So I don't fucking know, man, but I did that though, and that seems to have fixed it. So I tell you, man, we're living in a goddamn circus anymore, man. Shit, they say that technology is supposed to make our lives better, but I'll be damned if it's doing that. It's just making things more confusing. Anyway, all right, man, let's just jump into this shit. Get going on this freaking colony of mine. Hopefully we can make some good things happen. Now, where we left off last time, we just got done with I don't know, man. I don't know even what you would really call it. I summoned some of those damn mechs so that I could get some of those chips to continue working on those waste pack atomizers. When they came though, they kind of did a number a little bit over here. As you can see, I need to rebuild some of the plasteel walls. It's no big deal, really. It's just that I need to kind of emphasize or focus on this right now so that I can prevent any type of temperature anomalies throughout my colony base. But we're rebuilding the walls. We're going to wind up focusing on rebuilding those uranium slug turrets and some of these little, I don't know, man, power generation buildings that we have out here too. So that's where we are right now. But the good news though is that we were successful in that with the the Diabolus thing and the I don't know even really what you call some of these things, man. The mechs that come whenever you summon them. We took them out relatively easily for the most part. And we got our chip, so now we're going to be able to build another one of those atomizers. And that's good, because we need to really kind of have that kind of capability. Because I don't want to have to keep constantly jettisoning these damn waste packs every single time we get to a point where we need to get rid of them. Although right now I'm okay with doing that, because I'm trying to summon some people so that I can get some like captives, to sacrifice in these rip scanners. so that I can start building my fucking fabric cores, man. I tell you, man, this game is fun. It's it's funny, but it's fun, you know. It's almost like a Rimworld meets The Sims or something, except that the Sims are pissed off and always trying to fight each other. All right, so anyway, let me see here, man. What should we start on? Now, I don't know really what happened to that chip. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's see. What should we do? How should we approach this? Maybe I should take Gabs. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's okay. Okay, hold on a second here. Gabs might be on. Well, okay, so she's. So she's on stonework. Okay, so that's why. Let's go ahead and put her on unrestricted, and let's queue her up to start working on one of these. Well, now it's saying. Okay, so in other words, I guess somebody's. I think someone's queued up usage of that nanostructuring thing. I'm thinking maybe we should just go ahead and leave things alone. Okay, so let me give you some context here of what I'm thinking. That nanostructuring chip, it's right now in storage, and I think somebody has decided to go ahead and use that on the next slated atomizer that needs to be worked on. I don't know who that is, because that's one bad thing about this game, is that you can't really tell when something's been slated to be used by someone, unless you try to like hijack it and tell somebody to use the thing in a different project. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna put Gabs back on stonework and just kind of let things go the way that they are. Just gonna kind of sit back, chill out, and just kind of watch how things unfold, because I'm betting somebody at some point is gonna come out here and take that chip and start building the next atomizer. Bet my house on it. So yeah, that's what we'll do. And in the meantime, we'll just kind of take care of the base and make sure everything's okay. So let's see what's going on here. Let's go ahead and have Ice rescue Fate. I think they're okay. It's just another squabble. Yeah, basically everything's okay. But I hate the squabbles, man. You know, it causes people to get disfigurements and stuff. It's a problem whenever they start having a countdown to the rest of their life. You know, when they're about to die or something like that. I don't like that crap. Okay, so we're already rebuilding the wind turbine, so that's good. How are we looking on wood? Okay, so we could probably chop down a few trees. I'm thinking we'll get these right here. And the reason I'm doing that is because we have some fence right here that needs to be rebuilt. And these are pretty close to the build site, so we'll go ahead and roll with that. And we've also got some wooden walls too that need to be rebuilt too. And go ahead and slate another one of these to be rebuilt. Right there. Right now, I think, I mean, we're better off than we were, I think, in the last episode where metal is concerned, or steel. We're still kind of hurting on it, though. But that's the reason that I went ahead and put Gabs back on stonework. Because in my stonework zone is where I have all of the deep drills that are designed or placed to get us back on track with steel. And when they start doing this shit is when I begin to get kind of pissed off. Hate it when they do this, man. This is the bad thing about the pyros. Or the people that, you know, the pyromaniacs. They go around and start screwing with shit and start lighting crap on fire. It's just so annoying. Who do I have that I can use to keep tabs on her? Nobody, man. Jesus. What are we gonna do here? Let's see. Okay, there she goes. God damn it. Patty up there. Okay, I'm gonna have to use this person here. So irritating. We're gonna go sleep instead, I think. Okay, so what I usually do in these situations is that I take one person, I draft them, and then I follow that person that's lighting shit on fire all the time to kind of take care of them, you know, I don't know, just put everything out. And I do that as long as they're lighting stuff on fire. See? So that prevents everything from getting destroyed. It's just kind of a pain in the ass that you got to go through and do that kind of stuff, though. But it's better than beating them up or putting them in jail, because whenever you put a colonist in jail, the person that's put in jail winds up going through a few days of like depression or whatever it is, you know, and that causes problems in its own right. It's so irritating. Hold on a second here. So this one has been expired. We're exhausted, I mean. Let's go ahead and move this to another steel deposit. We can find one. Let me see here. That's plasteel. How are we looking on plasteel? Oh, hell, we've got plenty of plasteel. Don't need to worry about that. This is perfect, because this is indoors and they can use it whenever they want. So yeah, let's go ahead and put it here. Perfect. Okay. Now, back to the pyromania. Yeah, where are we? Here we are. Now, see, this has to be done because there's been moments in the past when somebody would go on a fire lighting or a whatever stage trip, whatever you want to call it, with some of the chem fuel. And needless to say, because of how my colony is, that's a no-no. Because I've had some pretty bad situations before from these assholes that want to light shit on fire all over the place where chem fuel is concerned, and I cannot afford to ever let that happen. So I just I take one person and I stalk this person around until they're out of their little daze or whatever, and then we just kind of move on. It's the best way to deal with it. It's freaking irritating, man, but it's just the way the game is, I guess. Because there's not any other real easy way to deal with it. At least not that I'm aware of or thinking of right now. I'd imagine she's just about done doing this too, I think. Alright, there she goes. Now she's back to normal, and then we move on. It looks like work is progressing with all this other stuff. Looks good. Okay, it looks like somebody took the chip. So let's see where the which atomizer is being worked on. Ah, there it is, right there. Boo bam. Okay, good. Good deal. All right. Looking good, man. things are moving forward. Okay, it looks like the livestock's doing okay. We don't have any slaughtered bodies that are just kind of sitting there rotting. So that's good. Yeah, man, everything's looking good. Can't complain. The only thing that I'm a little irritated at is the fact that I just haven't had any of those orbital traders come around. I can't remember the last time I had one, especially one of the bulk traders. Man, I could really use one right now. Because if one would come around, I could get rid of some of this freaking I mean, look at all this. Look at all the furs and shit that I have. I need to get rid of some of this shit, man. I'm gonna have to go. I think at some point I'm gonna have to make another trip down to the Kikaspis place down here, and I hate doing that because it's such a, I don't know, man. It's just such a pain in the ass to have to screw with. Because I've got to usually take about 7 or 8 yaks, load them all up, which takes at least a day and a half to 2 days minimum. Go down there, which takes about maybe 2.5 days, and then it's not until about 4 to 4.5 days later until you wind up. Just don't want to have to screw with that, man. Guys, I'm gonna wind up putting this on 1 real quick, speed-wise, so that I can go get another drink. I'll be right back. Oh my. I gotta tell you, man, it's nice being on vacation or on the weekend right now. It's been a long week. It's not really been a bad week, it's just been a long one. Everybody's working for the weekend. I gotta feel like that sometimes, man. That song gets played all the time on my local radio station, too. It's irritating. Oh, man. Gotta admit, though, man, things are kind of moving pretty smoothly. In spite of all the moving parts that I feel like I've got to worry about with this colony. I think I've finally found a happy, I don't know, happy middle ground with everything. Everything's pretty harmonious, in other words. All things considered. Now it looks like we've already got just about the wall rebuilt. So that kicks ass. You know what would be cool for them to add in this game? And I've said stuff like this about Minecraft too, and I gotta pause real quick because I want to talk about this in clear thought. So in Minecraft, I don't know if any of you guys have played that, because it's been a long time since I've played Minecraft, man, because it's just fucking old. It's lame, it's boring, there's not really been really much of an intuitive type of I don't know, man, gameplay breakthrough with that game for years. I think the last time I felt like that was back when they introduced what's it called, redstone, because that opened up the doors in a lot of ways. But one thing I've always said about Minecraft, let me get my bigger screen up online here real quick. Shit, I'm showing my browser. Oops. No big deal. Oh, I've got to scroll up. There we go. Okay. So one thing I've said about Minecraft for a long time to really make it stand out, and this is kind of it's kind of a complicated type of thing to explain. In concept, it's easy to explain, but in actual practice, I think it's different. But to make Minecraft really stand out would be to introduce a type of game mode where the world you create and you play in, you could oftentimes come across or discover various portals that lead to the game worlds of other players. Okay, so like imagine this. This is easier to explain. Imagine this. You're walking through the Minecraft world, okay? Let's say you're I don't know, man. You're fucking around in some cave somewhere and you come around a corner and you see this unique type of portal. It's inactive, okay? It's not working. It's like a rune almost, okay? But there's one block that if you destroy it, pick it up, and you put it in the right place, it activates the portal. And then boom, bam, right there at that instant, it creates a portal into the game world of another player, okay, who has a world that's been created and registered with basically a Microsoft database. Now imagine that for a second. Imagine that you play in this game mode and there's thousands of other players out there that are playing this in this same game mode, and they all discover these various kinds of portals throughout the world that interconnect the worlds of other players. Imagine the implication that would have for the overall universe of that game mode. That would be fucking insane, because then at that point you're talking about a situation where you could establish things like trade routes and like factions and shit, that would be fucking awesome. Why they don't do that is beyond me, but that's what they need to do to make that game ascend to the next level. I don't know really what you would call that, but you're essentially talking about a type of like lattice work of game modes or game worlds where the players that opt to play into that game mode would be interconnected, and you could discover these portals that would allow that person to traverse into your game world or vice versa. I just think it would be badass, man. But anyway, long story short, that's one thing with Minecraft that I think they need to do. Why they haven't done that yet, I don't know. I'm sure that there's a shit ton of stuff that you've got to do in terms of technicalities and actual the actual tech that's involved. Because not only are you talking about programmatic situations that you've got to accommodate for, but you've also got to create a certain kind of standardized and sanctioned database that would essentially register people's game worlds, and there's a lot of security involved that you'd have to consider, things like that. I get it. But in a similar fashion, though, I think that would be one cool thing to do with Rimworld somehow, is somehow find a way to where you can essentially trade or war with other players in the Rimworld world. And I don't know what that would look like in Rimworld. I know what that would look like in Minecraft. I don't know what that would look like though in Rimworld. Now I know with the latest release of Rimworld, they've created this situation where you can build these ships and you can, go into low orbit or whatever in basically get what's the word that I'm looking for? bridge onto certain other types of, like, I guess satellites or spacecraft or some shit, you know, and take resources from that kind of stuff. So maybe there's like a bridge between space travel and interacting with other players somehow. Or maybe even just having the players just be kind of playing on the same planet that your colony is on somehow. I think there's potential there. Now I know that there would be a lot of work involved in trying to make something like that happen. I mean, I'm sitting here saying that I know that there would be a lot of work involved, but being completely honest, I don't know how much work would be involved in making something like that happen. But I know that if you could make something like that happen, it would be badass. It would be completely revolutionary to the game itself, in the same capacity that I feel like the Minecraft idea would be revolutionary to that game too. So, long story short, I think there's just different kinds of ways in which you could incorporate multiplayer gameplay into Rimworld. And I don't know if they're ever going to wind up pursuing something like that, but I think that if they could incorporate a type of game mode that would allow it, I really think that that would bring this game up to a different level. Anyway, that's my TED Talk. So, let's get back to the game here, man. Okay. I think it's a cool idea, though, man. I really do. I think there's potential there, but I don't know if there would be infrastructural requirements to make something like that happen with Rimworld. I know that you'd have to kind of have servers and databases and stuff for Minecraft. I don't know about Rimworld though. I'm sure that you'd probably have to have something, because you've got to have a database or a server or something there that can kind of interlink the worlds or the players to the same world, you know. Because you've got to have a way to store certain kinds of world assets that each individual player of each individual world can kind of tie into. So there would probably be some requirements there in terms of like servers and databases or something, but I just don't know how. I don't know at what level of cost it would merit. But I think it's something to kind of think about, because I really do think that there would be some ways there to kind of bring this game to the next level if you could do something like that. Like, imagine, for example, you're sitting here, like, look at it like this. So here's my colony, okay? Luminous Maximus. Okay, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. Imagine if there was like another player colony somewhere up here, and let's say, for example, you wanted to trade with them, or even go to war with them, whatever. The point is that it would be cool to be able to interact with those people or their colonies and stuff, and trade with them, war with them, whatever it is that you want to do. And this game, it seems like there would be a lot of potential for something like that. Or with the newest release, since there's space travel and stuff, like maybe just leaving this planet, going to a different planet out here in the middle of wherever, and coming across another player's colony at that planet. I just think there's all sorts of possibilities there, and it kind of makes me wonder if they're actually thinking about doing something like that. I think if they're not, I think they should think about that. I think there's all sorts of ways in which something like that could be tapped into. It'd be really, really cool if they could. See what we're doing on wildlife here. Where's that lynx? I always try to take out lynxes and mountain lions. The reason I do that is because they always tend to take out some of the other fauna that we can usually use. Okay, so it looks like we've got our wind turbine back. That's good. Oh, man. I am looking forward to bed tonight. I've been so tired lately. Usually throughout the week, I try to work out at the gym at least twice a week. You know, early on, I was working out like every day, twice a day, and that just got to that was insane. You know, I couldn't really sustain it. I tried my best. I did pretty good there for about a year or two, but then COVID happened. You know, and the gym was beginning to get locked down and stuff like that, and it kind of threw my schedule off. And ever since then, I never really returned to that. I gotta be honest with you, man. I don't really miss it. Nice to just come home and relax most of the time, at least. But I'm trying to slowly get back towards, you know, being a little more active in the gym, or at least active in general. I've got a lot of stuff that's coming up here before too long with my house and stuff. I've got it's beginning to get tomato time here in Indiana. You know, time to plant our tomato plants and other garden stuff. So I'm going to be working on that here for too long. And of course, you know, mowing the freaking yard and all that kind of crap during summer, which sucks. I hate mowing my yard, man. I've thought about getting one of those automated freaking mowing machines, but needless to say, there's going to be some stuff that's going on here for too long, and it'll wind up requiring some exercise. But yeah, man, this week I've just been dead tired. So I'm looking forward to that sleep tonight, man. Last night it was nice in the bed, and this night or tonight I'm hoping it's gonna be as good, because I really need the rest. Okay, so we've got the wind turbine going on here. Let's see here. Now I know. Make sure it's connected. Yeah, it's connected. Okay. Wanted to make sure that the wind turbine was connected to the main grid. And I'm hoping we get this built back again soon. So those things produce a lot of energy. And it looks like we're doing okay as far as energy is concerned, because I'm not seeing our batteries get depleted, which is good. All in all, man, we're doing okay. What's Anton doing? Oh, he's hunting the lynx. Okay, let's watch this. This will be good. Anton's one of our enforcers. He's part of our hunting pack or group. Whenever there's something that needs to be hunted, he's always involved. Yeah, at one point, I guess, was a sheriff. I think, if I remember right. Yeah, see, he was a sheriff at one point. He's usually a pretty good shot. Oh, there he goes. Yes. Good job, Anton. It's pretty good, man. Still at around 500 of steel. Still looking good on plasteel. We're looking better on wood. Even uranium, we're looking good. So overall, man, we're kicking ass, and our components are looking good too. So we'll have this rebuilt in no time. Now, one thing that's worth mentioning is that my team of fabricators, I've indicated to them to keep building components until we have 500 in the colony wide. I mean, so if we don't have 500, they're always focusing on creating components. Now, the moment we reach 500 components, they move on to other things. So this ensures basically that we always have an ample amount of components. Now we've got a child here that's obviously remain colonist. Okay, so whenever that happens, I always try to modify their schedules and stuff like that. So let's see if we can make sure everything's okay on that. I think we're okay on. Oh, what's this? Yeah, here we are. Okay, so it's T. Okay, so work. Do that. I'm assuming this person isn't a night owl. Put her on ag. Let's see how she is here real quick. Yeah, she's not a night owl, so we don't have to give her the night owl schedule. Let's see here. Where are you, T? Oh, here we are. Okay. Basic, obviously. Whole and clean. Okay, so that's kind of... As soon as the children become capable of being able to do basic tasks, one thing I always make sure that they can do is the basic stuff, as well as haul and clean. That's always... I mean, you at least get some work out of them that way. Because when you're a kid, there's not really much that you can do, you know? But you can still haul stuff and clean stuff. And that's better than nothing. It looks like we've not got another drill that's exhausted, so let's go ahead and deal with that real quick. Right there. Got some rhinos and a warg. Uh-oh. This isn't good. Brooke is one of our best hand-to-hand people, so we need to be careful about this. Okay, so now bicep is down. But it doesn't look like he's in any mortal danger, so that's good. I think Brooke's okay too. Just another scuffle. I hate it when they do this shit, man. Kind of derails stuff, you know? Apparently we have a mechanoid that needs to be repaired. Who's the owner here? Newton? So let's grab Newton real quick, and as soon as he gets done with dealing with the deep drill, let's have him repair this. Easy peasy Japanesey. And my people are on it. They are kicking ass. So, you gotta watch out for this. Nab's one of our best people when it comes to martial fighting. So we gotta be careful here. We don't want her to kill anyone. Okay, good. It's kind of a that's kind of a relief because Nabs can really kick some ass. Whenever she's involved in a conflict, you need to be careful, man. She's not somebody to kind of scoff at. Looks like we've got a components seam. Man, we're gonna have to do something about some of these things, man. We've got a ton of shit around here that we can kind of tap into at some point. And we're looking pretty low on steel. Glass steel's holding strong. Wood is looking okay because we hardly ever use wood anyway, except for the wood-fired generators. But we're not really using those right now. But steel, man, we're hurting on steel. No. No, it's another one of those freaking kids, man. Little assholes. They always, for some reason, man, they always want to hang out in this freaking furnace room. And whenever they do, they always wind up passing out from heat stroke. Fucking irritating, man. Jonah will be okay though. As soon as you drop them outside of the furnace room, they eventually get back on their own 2 feet. Come on, Jonah. Stand up. Come on. Come on, man. There we go. Okay. Jonah, whenever you have a chance, go pick up your gun. Alright, guys. I think this is where I'm going to end this video. As you can see, we're currently working on rebuilding the area that was destroyed during our last conflict. So we've got some uranium slug turrets to rebuild. We've got some we've got one solar panel. Well, actually, we got 2 solar panels still that we need to rebuild. And we've got the Big Bertha geothermal generator to rebuild too. But we're making progress, and we already rebuilt the plasteel wall, so we're looking good, man. Looking very, very good. So anyway, I don't really have anything else to say. I hope you enjoyed this for whatever it's worth. When we come back, though, we're gonna keep working on that. Keep rebuilding these things, and I'm trying to think to myself what the end goal is here. I want to make some of those fabric cores. I know I want to do that. I want to make at least 4 of them, maybe more if I can make something like that happen. Because at some point we're gonna go after the Kyush or Kush faction to take them over and to eliminate them as a regional threat. But we might be a ways from that yet. So we'll eventually get there. But right now we just need to rebuild the stuff and get back on our 2 feet. So anyway, share, like, subscribe, leave some fucking comments. I'd love to know what your opinion is of things, man. Let me know what you think about what I'm doing. If you have any suggestions or ideas about ways that I might be able to do things better, I would love to know what those things are. Again, leave those as comments. But until then, man, I hope you guys are doing okay. Stay safe. Stay cool or warm wherever you are in the world. And I will see you in the next video. Okay? Have a good weekend. I'll see you.